Who I believe to be the true birthers of choosing beggars, it's entitled parents. Our first one is from Weekly Heat 846. After being engaged for the last 2 months, I found out that I was pregnant. Because it was unexpected and a very personal thing for me, I decided not to tell anyone but my fiance until the second trimester. We have now told family and close friends, who have shown nothing but support and excitement for everyone's first grandbaby. I still do not plan on announcing my baby to the world or on social media anytime soon, personal preference. However, last night we told my fiance's father, and to say him and I don't have the best relationship would be an understatement. For example, whenever my fiance isn't around, he'll make up statements such as, "You have birthing hips," and other commentary about my looks or mention my fiance's ex. To top it off, when we got engaged, he didn't congratulate us once, and instead bragged to his friends and family about how my fiance just got a new job and graduated from college. Last night we told him I was pregnant, and he made the entire subject about himself and my fiance, saying, "Finally, a boy to continue our bloodline. I can't wait to watch him at sports practices." We don't know the gender yet. And the entire time, my father-in-law talked about how my fiance is going to be such a great father. Not a single congratulations to me. And when his girlfriend mentioned buying baby clothes, he would cut her off and say, "Yeah, with what money? My money?" But what really irritated me was the fact that he got mad at me for waiting so long to tell him, and wanted to know why he couldn't tell everyone about it and share it on Facebook yet, even texting me about it after I left. The entire time we were there, he referred to the baby as my fiance's and told us our lives were over and that we'll resent the kid. But at the same time, my father-in-law wants to watch the child for weeks at a time. He believes he is entitled to be in the room when the baby is born if he wishes to, when I told my father-in-law I only wanted my fiance in there. He told me that it wasn't my decision and I needed to include everyone in this experience. Let's just say my fiance and I have had a long talk since then, and for my sanity, my father-in-law will not be seeing me or the child for a very long time. One has to question what this father-in-law is really thinking. If the father-in-law wants to have control over a child so bad, he can get himself knocked up, carry the child, and give birth to the child. Oh wait, he can't do that, so he needs to respect the wishes of the person who's carrying his grandchild. This next one is by Art Plenty. I started babysitting families in my church growing up. Between ages 12 to 16, I babysat for over 30 families, and I was highly requested in that community. I knew everyone, and I attended that church since I was 4. Everyone knew me. I knew everyone. Very tight-knit. So I babysit for a family we will call the Smiths. I knew the Smith family since I was 10, and they had children that were younger than me. I helped with these kids for Children's Mass. I knew the family, and we were kind of close because I was one of the kid helpers in a class unit. Plus, we all knew each other from the church and school. Now, I'm 13-ish when this happened. I babysat for this family, the Smiths, and it was going good. They had a pool in their backyard, and the dad had told me to pack a bathing suit. He said, "The kids will probably beg you to swim with them, if you don't mind, but you don't have to." So I babysat these kids for about 5 hours, 1 to 5, and 4 hours in, the husband came home to take a work call, and then he would help with the kids and my parents would take me home. 20 minutes before the dad gets home, the kids wanted to swim. I agree, and we all get ready. I had chosen a normal bathing suit for a 13-year-old, but I had a larger chest than others my age, and the mom of these kids. Now, the dad comes home and asks if things are all good. I tell him yes, and he tells me he will find us when he's done with his work call. It's about 5 and he comes out and asks to take another call. He asks to take a picture to send to his wife and let her know I'll watch the kids for longer since he had another call. Long story short, all went well until the wife shows up. Everything goes good. The kids are having a blast. I help them dry off, help them shower, and change as the wife gets ready to take over and the husband had started making dinner. I was in my oversized shirt bringing the kids downstairs when the wife signals to me. She pulls me aside and begins to shame me. She tells me that I will not be getting paid from 4 to 5:45 for dressing like a slut in an attempt to stray her husband to me. That my choice of swimsuit was slutty and she should have known better not to trust me. That I was a whore and that my boobs would get me nowhere in life and that I was going to be raped dressing like that. I was flabbergasted because I'm barely 13 at the time and I wasn't wearing a revealing swimsuit. I nod and profusely apologize because I wore this to the pool and never had any problems, and me and my bestie have matching ones. I was sobbing hysterically, took my money and sat on the porch waiting for my mom to pick me up. I hear yelling outside. Dad comes out, gives me $50, and goes back to yelling at his wife inside the house. Long story short, they filed for divorce because she was having an affair with another guy. She later revealed this information to another family I babysat for, and they told me that the wife was insecure about her chest. Dad was not a pedophile, and his kids are doing great. The fact that the mom freaked out like that is absolutely ridiculous. You did them a solid by staying extra time, and I think in the end, the mom was definitely insecure too, because the mom was doing some shady shit. And our final one is by Exciting Mud 5054. My son just had surgery. His surgery was hours away from home. I had to be by myself while my son was having surgery. My kids are my everything, and I was having a panic attack the whole time. But my husband and I have a disabled son who is a year younger than our son who had surgery. He needed to be watched, obviously. I understand. None of my family offered to watch my disabled son. And personally, I probably would have said no if they offered. But it's the offer that counts, right? Anyway, 2 days after my son's surgery, we are finally home. He's in a lot of pain and requiring round-the-clock care. He's only 11. My dad called me multiple times, though I ignored his call. I was trying to sleep because I haven't gotten any sleep while I've been taking care of my son. He had his wife call, but I ignored that too. Finally, I get a text saying my dad is in the hospital and they want me to watch their kids because my dad doesn't want to be alone through the night. I ignored the text. They kept calling. Finally, I sent them a text telling them no. He's a grown-ass adult. I shouldn't have to watch my gremlin monster little sisters because my dad is a baby and doesn't want to be alone. My little sisters are younger than my kids, but they are gremlins. They aren't well behaved. They don't listen to anything you say. I'm not having them around while my son is healing. They are abusive to animals. They broke their cat's leg, so my dad got rid of the cat. And I have 2 cats and 2 rats. I don't want them in my house with my pets. The last time they asked me to watch their kids, I did. They wanted to go hunting. Well, apparently, it was too cold to hunt, so they didn't even go. They just went to sleep after dropping the kids off, which is ridiculous. If you want to have a kid-free day, just ask, but don't lie to me to get me to watch your kids. Not to mention my cat, who has never been a mean cat. He is my gentle giant. He's 2 times the size of a normal cat. He's sweet as can be. He loves to just sit and watch, and he loves a nice nap on your lap. I've had him since he was 6 weeks old. He's almost 4.5 years old. Suddenly turned violent and started biting and growling and hissing for months after they left. Since then, I haven't allowed them into my house again. To be honest, I'm sure my dad is only in the hospital because he's upset my son is getting attention and not him. My dad is a sociopath. It definitely sounds like your parents in general are just a little out there, especially if your dad would go to such extremes to get attention and get his way. I'd have to agree with your assessment. Alright, that's enough entitlement for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Entitled Parents. If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons, have a great day and stay safe out there.